Efforts to salvage the Conception are now underway. Coast Guard officials say that work started today. Meanwhile, dive teams are still working to find the last remaining victim of the deadly boat fire. KSBY News reporter Michael Torres gives us an update on the recovery plan.
Well, until today, the Conception has laid upside down on the ocean floor. But in their first day of actively trying to turn over the ship, Lieutenant Commander Matthew Kroll with the U.S. Coast Guard says that has been completed. Now, the next step is to actually remove the Conception out of the water, but Kroll mentions that is not going to be a quick or easy process, and there's already been delay.
Hey, Captain!
Since the Conception boat fire, the search and rescue mission has turned to a search and recovery operation, with one victim still missing. Now, there is a salvage plan in place to resurface the ship, and time is of the essence.
The longer that the vessel is in the water, the more it's exposed to the elements, the more risky it's going to be to resurface it.
While timing is important, safety and preparedness are key.
You want to do as much planning as you can, because we're really only get maybe one shot at this.
Now that the Conception is turned upright, the next step is to raise the ship out of the water. In a press conference Friday morning, U.S. Coast Guard Captain Monica Rochester said this part could take some time.
It's just not a fast raise. It's going to be a very gentle raise to try and retain the vessel to be intact. With that, you know, that could be a very lengthy raise.
And safety concerns about the weather have now put a hold on salvage operations.
This afternoon and into the weekend, the winds and the waves are supposed to be forecasted to levels that would really put that safety into jeopardy. The decision was made to suspend the salvage operations later this afternoon and continue them once we reassess the weather over the weekend.
Now, as they continue to monitor the weather over the weekend, Kroll says there will continue to be vessels and boats on scene to secure the area. Another interesting piece of information, Kroll says that the Conception has shifted over the last couple of days, and this now allowing divers to look in other areas that were previously inaccessible as they continue their search for the last remaining victim. In Santa Barbara, I'm Michael Torres, KSBY News.
Thanks, Michael. And as salvage efforts continue, Coast Guard officials say they appreciate the public's patience, calling the process slow and methodical to keep divers safe and bring up the Conception in one piece.